is Outsourced Accounting Insights. I am your host, Will Tetreault. I myself am a manager in the Outsourced Accounting Group here at BerryDunn, and I have two fantastic guests with me here today, Leah Shanahan and Kathy Parker. Kathy, how you doing?
Hey, Will, what's going on? I love that you said I'm fantastic. That's pretty cool. So my name is Kathy Parker. I have been in the Outsourced Accounting Group for over 20 years. I'm the practice group leader, and I'm super excited to be here today.
Thanks for being here. And that leads us to our second guest, Leah Shanahan. Give the people a little background on yourself.
Hey, everybody. I'm Leah Shanahan. I'm a principal in the Outsourced Accounting Group. I have had the pleasure of working with Kathy for about 15 years. And so let's get the show on the road.
Excellent. Thank you, Leah, and thanks for being here. The podcast, for those who are new, well, I guess it's a new episode, so everyone's new, is designed to inform the current and potential clients and recruits on the landscape of outsourced accounting, going over all the highs, lows, and buffaloes of this industry. So, Kathy, question for you. If you could define it, what is outsourced accounting?
So the way I see outsourced accounting is, and kind of how I talk to people is, we're sort of the back office for a company, but we can be anything. So think of us as a blank canvas, and we can help to define our roles, but we're sort of the hub. So we can do the accounting. We can do, anything from the data entry to CFO services, controller services, to benchmarking, forecasting. A lot of our clients come from foreign inbound, or they want to start up a new venture and they want us. And so we are really sort of their part of their team, and we're really in their accounting department. And I kind of look at it as like the hub. So kind of picture us in the center, and then we coordinate everything with the tax, the audit, the bankers, the estate attorneys, or the regular attorneys. And so we really are sort of the hub among all the business needs.
Absolutely. And there was kind of an old school term that was used in the outsourced accounting that a lot of us don't like for now, right? It's that nasty B word.
The 4-letter word. That's a lot more than 4 letters.
More than 4 letters. Yeah. Bookkeepers. Yeah. And so where has outsourced accounting elevated since the classic term of bookkeeping?
Yeah, no, it really, so everybody kind of had that, like that you were a bookkeeper and you just sort of did that data entry. And I would really look at outsourced accounting now as advisory services, sort of this client advisory services where we're really advising our clients. So yes, the day-to-day entry still has to get done, but what's incredible nowadays is that we're using a ton of technology out there. We're using, artificial intelligence will be coming down the road and all that sort of stuff. So that's really elevating the outsourced accounting group. So we're really advising and directing and helping clients grow their business. And my goal is let our clients do what they do best, which is run their business, and they can sleep at night because they know that the accounting and everything else is taken care of.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And kind of going off that with outsourced accounting, if I'm someone that's purchasing outsourced accounting services, Leah, what's the benefit to me investing in an outsourced accounting group like BerryDunn's?
I think for us, it's a matter of we can provide sort of like a full service or supplemental accounting needs sort of at the drop of a hat. We've worked with so many industries, so many different clients. We're just able to plug in. We already have processes and procedures. We can also provide what I kind of call like a fractional CFO, a fractional bookkeeper. So you might have some bookkeeping needs, you might have some controller needs, you might have some CFO needs. And if you don't need full-time people in all those positions, it's hard to find one person who can sort of fulfill all those needs effectively. And so when you look to an outsourcing firm, we can fulfill all that because we have, a range of skill sets within our team where if you just need, CFO services to get you through a transaction, well, guess what? We have plenty of capacity on staff for one of the partners or senior managers to help you on that front. We have staff who can help with sort of the day-to-day of what's happening. So that's a real key asset. Also, with a firm like ours, the bench strength is huge. We're a firm of 900, even if our group within outsourced accounting hasn't seen something, chances are between audit, tax, valuation, someone else at the firm has seen it and gone through it. And so we have a lot of bench strength that we can leverage as different scenarios arise. And then I think it's like the grind of hiring, firing, turnover, management, managing PTO, like all of the training, all of that really falls on us. So we have a team approach to everything. You don't have to worry about, when people are on vacation. We design coverage for that. You don't have to worry about managing us day to day. We sort of outline expectations at the beginning of an engagement. And then, it's my job, it's our team's job to manage day to day and make sure things happen as we've kind of outlined at the start of an engagement.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's a huge lift on companies in that sense, for sure. And kind of going from there, you talked a lot about how we have all those pieces in our firm. And I think there's a lot of big firms out there that are starting to offer these type of services. So how would you say outsourced accounting tends to, or either this is a question to either one of you, how it tends to coexist within the firm, right?
I think we usually say we're kind of the hub, and we are very collaborative with our team members. So we're the hub between tax, audit, valuation. We're interacting ongoing and try to really streamline the experience for clients, which I think can be a little bit different about how we service our clients. My goal is I don't want people within the firm asking for information from the client that we already have. We really try to take a white glove approach. If I have the information, I want tax to talk to me first. I want audit to talk to me first. I want valuation to talk to us first, to avoid sort of those repetitive sort of document requests that people become accustomed to. So that way we can minimize that from the client side. We really try to make the client experience easy in that regard.
Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely makes things seamless. And so something that you hear a lot when you go around and people talk about outsourced accounting, also called CAS services, is it's typically this peanut butter and jelly sandwich between tax and accounting, and the fact that outsourced accounting is always mentioned, especially in these firms that are in early stages, as this supplemental service. How do you see the growth of outsourced accounting and outsourced accounting just as a whole, outside of just hey, here's your books?
I mean, it's actually a really great question, because the traditional way, like you said, was, a client would have their books were in order and it was sort of messy. And then we would sort of do the accounting or the 4-letter word, the bookkeeping, right, to get everything sort of ready for the tax return, or help with some sort of, financials, obviously independence and those sort of things too. But it really has evolved into, again, its own sort of practice group, because not only are we just doing the day-to-day data entry accounting, that's, to me, is like the bottom of this. And we do that, and it has to get done. It's a necessary thing, but it's really going a lot more on the advising or the more complex stuff. It's, oh my gosh, I want to go public with my company one day, or I want to sell my company one day. I need sophisticated books. I need to make sure that I'm compliant for the bank. I want to get private equity venture. I want to do a private equity venture. And what does that mean? And so there's a lot more sophistication. There's a lot more dashboarding. There's a lot more forecasting and projecting. So kind of doing the books after the fact, at the end of the year, and I'm a firm believer of this. I think business owners know how to run their business. They always have that gut. And I always still think that that's what, I always tell them to believe in their gut. But having the book sort of done after the fact doesn't really help them run their business. And so with us, it's a kind of taken a new approach where it's getting ahead of it, being more proactive, more of that advisory consulting sort of level of service versus the, let's just give me your shoebox, or here's my login to the bank. Can you compile my books for me at the end of the year? And that's fun and that's exciting. And that's really where I think BerryDunn in the direction we like to go. And we really want to be these business owners, partners, and, just get in there with them and let's grow a business together.
Absolutely. Yeah. And kind of, so then going off that, so being involved with these type of business owners, what type of businesses, what are the potential clients that are kind of the ideal person for outsourced accounting?
Sure. I think, Leah, I can kind of start and, maybe chime in, but, some of the good potential clients, a lot of foreign inbound, the world is so small now. It used to be, was like, oh, I can't, you can go overseas. What? Now it's so small. So a lot of foreign inbound who they really don't want the bricks and mortar here. They don't need it. And kind of like what Leah was saying is, why are they going to be saddled with, trying to hire employees and have to deal with all the HR and the payroll taxes and the turnover? That's sort of on us. So foreign inbound is a really good fit for us, as well as, growing businesses too, a lot on the green energy side. We love green energy. It's a niche of ours that we really like. Leah, what else do we
do a lot of real estate work, as well as family office work. So ultra high net worth families kind of serving as their back office in their day-to-day needs and, coordinating regarding estate matters and trust matters and kind of day-to-day accounting of their various operating businesses, as well as non-for-profit work.
I think the key is, businesses who are really, they're growing and they want to, as I always say, take over the world and really sort of, go have a goal in mind. Is it selling their business? Is it succession planning? Or on the not-for-profit, where are they going with their mission? How are they growing? Is it grants? Is it, getting more dues, or any of these sort of types of people? It's like, where are they going and where can we help them at? And it goes back to what Leah had said. Our mission is we want to make the client experience easy. We want to make it easy for the owners of these businesses so they can really do what they can do best and we can handle the behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm. So there are these niches, but there's definitely a larger range of possibility for.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I would say those are sort of our top niches, but there's a range out there. We really like a lot of clients to just, come and talk to us, our potential clients. Hey, what are you doing? And let's just sit down and talk and see, what we can do. Again, it goes back to the blank canvas. They're like, well, I really kind of want to just kind of fit you in here. I have people boots on the ground, but I need this piece of it. And that's wonderful. But it's different services, different providers and different needs. And we love working with all of them.
Mm-hmm. So that being said, outsourced accounting kind of to a lot of people, if you're just coming up in college or you're in high school and you're thinking of being an accounting major, the typical paths for an accountant, there's normally three, right? You're either going private industry or you're going audit or tax. That's kind of been the case said for the past however many decades. What would you say for people coming up is the selling point for working in outsourced accounting?
It is. You're right. The traditional role was when we were in college, was, okay, you're going to go audit or tax. Do you want the big four accounting firm or a small firm, right? And that was sort of the direction to go. And audit and tax have really evolved over the years as well, too. And outsourced accounting never really existed. Again, it was just sort of this after the fact bookkeeping. But the one thing that people, how we sort of go to colleges and sort of pitch outsourced accounting, all that stuff is you really get a lot of client interaction right away. I mean, literally day one, you're going to get client interaction because we are their accounting department. We are, we're working very closely with business owners or those that are decision makers. And I think, team members really like that. I think that they like having the wide variety of interaction and not just sort of being pigeonholed to just tax and you have to become very, very technical in tax. And while tax is very creative, as I have a tax background originally and I love the tax and I like that tax work, but I love the creativity that, that I can bring to the outsourced accounting and the advisory and really doing that sort of stuff. So I'd say for me, the recruiting and why people want to come in outsourced accounting is really more just the variety and having the client interaction from the get-go and really having that very team feel. I don't know, Leah, what else do you think?
I mean, I know I always was drawn to the outsourced accounting group because I felt like you could gain a much broader understanding of different operational businesses and could really add strategic value to an organization.
Yeah. And I mean, I know it was my question, but kind of going off it, and you guys got me thinking. I think not known by the podcast, I came from a background of tax, just like Kathy, and I've done some light audit work as well. And in every aspect of accounting, I feel like there's a lot of advisory services in the sense that if you're a tax accountant, you're doing tax planning, right? And that's your version of advisory because you're getting them up to par in where they need to be. So that way they don't have some huge tax liability at year end. And then auditing, you're of course giving some other type of advice throughout that process. But I found that in the sense of being in outsourced accounting, there's a certain entrepreneurial spirit to it, in the sense that you're so involved in every aspect, dealing with the tax people, dealing with the audit side, and going over burn rates and spend management and things of that nature with clients, that is just makes you feel invested in your work. So I agree with everything you guys both just said. I think that's fantastic. Leah, Kathy, it's been great having you both on. Thank you so much for joining Outsourced Accounting Insights.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks, Will.
So things to expect going forward, people. We've had 2 great guests today. We're going to have more guests going forward. We have a lot of different topics to go over. We're going to talk about some industry niches that you kind of heard outlined today. We talked about real estate, green energy, family offices. So be ready to hear some more stuff on that. We talked about AI a bit in the different softwares, but that's going to be another different topic that we can go way further into. So please catch us here next time at Outsourced Accounting Insights with yours truly and more exciting guests to come.